Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and we are back at it again, guys. Today, we have a special one for you. Today, we have another custom of mine. We have right here, and it is of now this is kind of a, I was gonna say this is of but this is kind of a different take on Thanos, guys. If you're looking at the body and if you're wondering why the body looks so familiar, it's because it is from Marvel Legends Death Head. Now, if you guys don't, or if you guys are not familiar with that figure, then look it up. Then you'll know why the body mold looks so familiar. So essentially, guys, I really didn't do much to customize this figure. If you're looking at the head sculpt and you're wondering why it looks so familiar, it's because it is from the Walmart exclusive Thanos right here. It's his other head sculpt that I put onto this body. Now, essentially what I did with this Thanos is actually loosely based on another take of Thanos. It's kind of a combination of the Ultimate Thanos and the Omega Thanos. Try saying that 3 times fast. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Ultimate Thanos and the Omega Thanos, check it out. Check out some pictures online and you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is kind of my own take on Thanos. One of the reasons why I did this custom is because I had the body mold and the head sculpt actually went pretty well with this blue. But I didn't keep it blue. As you guys can see, I added some gold brushing to this figure. Now, I don't know if I'm really done with this figure. I'm not really for sure. I think I still might add some pieces to this figure. I'm not really for sure. I was going to add this right here and possibly a skirting for Thanos, but I figure, you know what? I just wanted to leave him a little bit different and just add something more to this Thanos. Now, as you can see, he is missing his gauntlet here. In return, he has kind of like a spear weapon that I gave him to match his wings back there, his gold wings. His gold wings was from another figure, not from a Marvel figure, but from another figure that I broke apart, and I kind of glued it onto his back. That's how it's on his back. It's pretty much glued to his back. This weapon right here, I can't remember what this weapon is from. I think it's from a Spawn figure. I'm not really for sure. In the rest of the body, I really didn't do much to the body. I just took off the head sculpt of Death Head, and then I put this Thanos head sculpt onto this figure. Actually looks pretty good. Actually goes very, very well with the blue, with the metallic blue. The reason why I didn't want to keep it entirely blue, because I didn't want it to look like the Death Head figure. So that's why I kind of gave it a gold brushing for this figure. And here is his weapon right here. So if you guys are looking for Death Head weapon, this is pretty much it right here. Except if you're paying attention, if you know the Death Head figure, he had silver and a silver arm, and then silver with this as well. His weapon was kind of a silver, and I just kind of painted it gold and blue and kind of blended it in, kind of like the silver and the blue. Or was it silver? Yeah, I think it was silver. It was mostly silver. And yeah, instead I just painted it gold, and you still can see a little bit of the silver on there. And I figure it'd be a really, really cool weapon. Instead of having the gauntlet, I figure he would have this right here. Now, you can take this weapon out of his hands. This comes out of his hand very easily. And I replaced his other hand, Death Head's hand, with the Thanos hand. Now, of course, I didn't have a gauntlet, nor did I want to put the gauntlet in his hands, because I think with the Ultimate and the Omega Thanos, he didn't have a gauntlet in his hand. So I just gave him a regular hand. And of course, this hand right here is from this hand right here for the gauntlet. If you wanted to, you can probably take this gauntlet off and put it onto his hand if you wanted to. Being that I sized it up a little bit, because the hand was a little bit too big. But I sized it up to where it can fit into his hand. because the peg for Death Head's hand was a little bit too. It was a little bit too big, so I sized it down a little bit to put into Death Head's arm. So this is Thanos' hand, his head sculpt, and then the rest of his body is Death Head. Now, before I show you this figure and show you other things that I painted and other things that I did with this figure, I'll give you a comparison of other Thanos figures. Of course, this is the Walmart exclusive Thanos. And then here's the Thanos from the 3-pack, which is still one of my favorites. You can actually have him holding the gold if you want to, but he doesn't have a hand to where you can hold, hold the gold spear. So I think I don't know if I'm going to have him hold this spear or not. But, whoops, sorry about that. Let me put these off to the side and I'll give you a close-up look of this Ultimate Omega Thanos. Here's some of the gold shimmer that I put onto his body. Of course, there's his hand, if you guys are familiar with his hand. If you guys are familiar with this was kind of like a brownish color, and I painted it gold. And then there's his thighs, his boots. I kind of left the colors alone because I wanted, because it was so familiar with Thanos, the blue and the gold, I kind of really didn't do much other than just kind of paint over his body and just painted the, if you were familiar, his arm was silver, so I painted it blue, and then I went over it with the gold dry brush. Same thing with this, silver, then I went over it with blue and then gold and kind of blended the gold and blue together. And then I wanted to give him kind of like gold wings to add like an effect, you know, to give him something a little bit more. Of course, with the Omega Thanos, I think it was the Omega Thanos, he had what's his name, Galactus helmet on, where if you're familiar with Galactus, his helmet kind of has these wings right here coming out of his head. But being that he's the Ultimate Thanos, I really didn't want to add or go in depth with or mess around with this head sculpt, because I felt like this head sculpt was perfect as is, so I didn't want to do any customizing to this head sculpt. So that's why it's kind of a combination of the Omega and the Ultimate Thanos. Is I didn't want to put like a Galactus head sculpt and, you know, have him have like these ears. Instead, I just put the gold wings on the back of him. So we'll go to a closer look up of this Thanos, and I kind of wanted to make him dusty and grimy and grungy, you know, and I didn't want the clear blue of this Thanos. I kind of wanted the gold dry brush kind of all over his body and kind of wanted to blend in with everything, kind of like his weapon. You see the gold from his weapon, and I kind of wanted that to be all over his body. And so that's why I kind of gave him kind of a gold brushing. You can see that's all over his body right here. There's the back of him. And I just felt like I needed to add more gold. Whoops! I felt like I needed to add more gold to this Thanos figure. So let me put my camera right here. And in the light, he looks really, really nice. On camera, actually, my camera is actually doing some justice for this Thanos, because, yeah, he's bringing him to life. And the head sculpt actually looks really, really well. And I do have the alternate head sculpt for this Thanos right here with the closed mouth. And you can actually put his head sculpt on there as well. And he looks pretty good like that too. He looks pretty awesome like that too. But I figure since he already had the blue helmet, to go with the blue wardrobe and the blue and the gold, I figure, you know what, this head sculpt looks better. You know what I mean? And the head, the purple face actually goes very, very well with this body. Even though, you know, the head right here, you know, Thanos' body is kind of out of proportion anyways, right? So he's got a big body and kind of a small head. So with this figure, he's kind of got a big body, but it's more longer and it's still buff and it's still wide, and it goes perfectly with this head sculpt as well. So and this weapon right here for his hand kind of gives an awesome effect as well. You know what I mean? It's really cool seeing the Thanos that doesn't have a gauntlet in his hand and a weapon on his side right there. So that was kind of my goal of this Thanos, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted it to be a little bit different. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to give him a gauntlet, because he already had a weapon in one of his other hands. And even though this weapon is non-existent to the Omega Thanos or the Ultimate Thanos, I felt like it gave it a really, really cool effect, because it brought Thanos down to... we always look at Thanos as godlike, especially when he has the gauntlet. But this kind of makes him look like a regular Thanos. You know what I mean? There was a story in one of Marvel's comic books where Thanos actually joins the Avengers. So it makes sense. He kind of looks like an Avenger, Thanos, and like he joined the Avengers and he has his weapon and he's going to fight the bad guys. So yeah, it's something different, something unique, it's something that you don't see every day. And I figure it'd be a really, really cool thing to do, and it came out pretty well. Like I say, I don't know if I'm finished. I think I might be finished because I don't really want to add anything else. I mean, if I were to put, his gold collar on him, it would kind of hide his gold wings, and it would be just a little bit too much. And I actually like showing Thanos' neck and collarbone area and chest area. And if I were to put that on something like this onto him, it wouldn't be the same, you know what I mean? He wouldn't look right. So this Thanos actually looks good without it, and with just showing his chest and his area. It kind of looks like an older Thanos, because it kind of looks like he's slimmed down. Or maybe a younger Thanos, I don't know. What do you guys think? But if you guys are not familiar with Omega Thanos, Google some images of Omega Thanos and his story. And if you guys are not familiar with the Ultimate Thanos, Google some of those images as well, because that's kind of where I took the ideas to create this Ultimate Omega Thanos. So guys, there was my little custom review of the Ultimate Omega Thanos figure. So if you guys like this review, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to receive more cool, awesome reviews like this. And there you guys have it. There was my little review of Thanos, Ultimate Omega Thanos. And there you guys have it. Let me know your opinions and your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think of this figure. Do you like him? Do you feel like I could do something more to him? Do you like the body sculpt that I chose for this Ultimate Omega Thanos? So let me know your opinions in the comment section, guys. I'm always glad to hear from you, and I'm always glad to talk with you. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!